first of all, I would like to know how many are Romanians here in the room today? I just want to check out. Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, my name is Yvette Larsson and I am from Sweden. And I have a story to tell about Romania because it might seem a little bit odd that a Swedish person is in this Romanian-French forum. So my story started, I have to tell you, we have to go back in time. We have to go back all the way to 1985. And that was the time when I was 13 years old. And I lived in the very, very north of Sweden, in Lapland. Sweden was very social democratic, very open, very free. And we went to Romania, to the Black Sea, to Mamaia, as tourists, because we wanted to have some sun and warmth. So I was 13 years old, with no worries in the world, and I came to Mamaia for 2 weeks, and I met a boy called Mihai, and he was 14 years old. And we met in a terrace, and the hotel, I usually say that Romania, it's my pleasure to engage in Romania, but I also think it's my destiny. And the hotel we stayed in was actually something about destiny. It was called Hotel Dacia. Dacia, yeah. So I met Mihai at this hotel and we started to write to each other. Him growing up under Ceausescu's communism and me growing up in Sweden. You can imagine the contrasts were big. And when you read the letters, you can also see this from our letters. We couldn't write about everything. So I came to know Romania from a very, very early age, and it made a huge impact on me. It made an impact on me on who I am as a Swede, but it also made a huge impact on me about Romania. So this has followed me all my life, actually. We wrote to each other for 20 years. That's a long time. And after that came emails. So unfortunately the emails, they are gone in cyberspace. Lesson learned there. And the letters, Mihai, he kept his letters and I kept my letters. I never went back to Romania until 2011. That was 26 years after. So when I came back, that was also because of Mihai. He wanted to invite me and he wanted to show the new Romania. And him and I, we hadn't either met. We met when we were 13 and 14 years old. And then we met again when we were 39 and 40 years old. We were adults. So he wanted to show me the new Romania and he wanted to invite me back because we had helped him throughout his life as well. So I came back and the first hour when I was there, this is how I went. Wow! And I thought, why doesn't the world know this? Because all we know is what we are here for, to brand Romania. We know, outside Romania's border, we know very, very, very little about Romania. So the first time I went there, I was in this huge wow about. I was wow about the Bucharest in itself. I was amazed by the mountains, about the sea, about the villages, about the castles, but most of all, about the people. But I will come back to this a little bit later. Then I decided that from meeting Mihai again, I realized that his story, and not only his story, but the Romanian story needed to be told. So I decided to write something about it. So during 1.5 years, I went back to Romania about 15 times now. And I talked to people from all walks of life. All ages, and I asked those questions. What is the Romania you see today? And why is it like this? Because I was trying to understand this country that you don't hear so much about. And then I put all those interviews, all those conversations, I put it in a manuscript, and I also put all the letters that Mihai and I sent to each other with comments. So I have a manuscript now, which is not just one book, but I realized it's 2 books. So this is my next project, to find a publisher for this. So when I actually came to Romania, and all those following Romanians, I was asking myself, so what is Romania about? And at some point I thought, they just want to keep it to themselves. Yeah, the treasure here. But then of course it's not true. So I was, in the beginning, I was looking at Romania as a teenager. Because if we look back on recent history, a teenager that is grounded in the values, knowing the values what they are, but sort of distracted. This is how I saw Romania the first times I was there. And I would like to come back to what Joanna said as well. I also believe that there is some kind of soul-searching or identity shaping that is going on in Romania. Some sort of like creating the identity. Who are the Romanians? This is how I see it. And I will say something more. It is with my humbleness, because I'm not Romanian. I'm telling my view as the Swede looking into your country, okay? So, then I started a sort of a campaign of my own. I started to direct myself to all those Facebook pages that are either touristic or promoting Romania in one way or the other. And I was asking them also, why don't you communicate in English as well? To reach out. Because it's one thing to have all those good things in the country, but it's also another thing to promote it outside. And then I realized, I need to do something myself about this as well. Small steps, you know, one first small steps, and there you go. So that was the time when I started the Bucharest Lounge. And the Bucharest Lounge has three purposes. From the beginning it had three purposes. It grew in some other directions as well. But the main three purposes are to rebrand Romania. At the lounge I show what I say, the beauty and the meaning from Romania. So those are the glasses on which I wear when I post things on this Facebook page and on this blog. So rebrand Romania and showing a more nuanced picture about Romania. The second one is also, I'm not really there yet, but to market Romania and also to invite people back, because I believe in the personal human contact. I believe that when the people start coming back to Romania and meet the friendliness, the hospitality, the kindness, the respect, the educated people there, they will see and they will feel and they will have a relationship. So rebrand, market and invite people back. Those are the three main keywords for the Bucharest Lounge. So, if I see and I hear what we are talking about now, I think there are two things that are important. The first thing is to put Romania on the map and put Bucharest on the map. Position Romania and position Bucharest. I am seeing a campaign, this is Romania. Because when I was going to Paris yesterday, what flashes up in my head? Yes, the Eiffel Tower, the Champs-Élysées, etc., etc. I can go on. I have already a picture about what Paris is about. When it comes to Romania, I'm sorry, it's not about ignorance. Well, maybe it is, but what are the landmarks? If I go and ask my friends, who are my friends who still reads the Bucharest Lounge, what are the landmarks from Romania? What do you know? Romania, I don't know. Yes, here we go with the Dracula, you know? You're sick and tired of hearing it. So I believe in positioning Romania, putting Romania on the map. This is Romania. So I think a branding campaign would be nice to sort of, I use this word, educate people, but I mean creative people can do it in a nice, funny, cool way. Educating in the sense that this is Romania, okay? And the same thing with Bucharest. Because when I think about cities, I think about them as people, you know? And when I think about Bucharest, it's a her, and she is passionate and she is eclectic. She has a fantastic history. She is beautiful. She is crazy in a good way. She is friendly. There are loads of things. I am reading those travel magazines because I'm so much into promoting Romania now. And never do I see an article about Romania. I even lobbied my Swedish counterparts and I said, hey, look, Romania. No, we're not interested. And then I did it again. No, we don't have place. So there is a huge job to do, I think, to change people's attitudes. And attitudes, it takes a long time and you need to have patience, but I still believe it's possible. So, position Romania, what is Romania? Positioning Bucharest, what is Bucharest about? I think this is also needed. So, when I wrap this up, I would like to thank you for letting me come here. And the Bucharest Lounge is dedicated to be an optimistic voice in Romania. It was set up to show the world outside what Romania is about. But it grew to have a sort of a second purpose as well. I realized this because there are lots of Romanians on this page. I realized that I am holding up a cultural identity mirror because I get so many people, especially from Romanians abroad, who says they fall in love with their own country. And I say, I don't do anything, I just show the world some pictures. And I think the world we live in now is a visual one. We have Facebook, we have Pinterest, we have Instagram. So I believe strongly that people in advertising, photographers, artists has a lot to do. And what I would like to see is for those projects to spread abroad and not just stay within Romania. Thank you very much.